Hey y'all, I finally finished my pond build. It's not exactly how I started out having it look, but it works. And functionality is the main thing for a pond. So I have a 170 gallon stock tank that I got from Tractor Supply. I got my PVC from Lowe's. The 55 gallon barrel I had gotten prior from somebody. It is food grade. The planter I got from Lowe's. The rocks I actually dug up out of my yard. They were actually barely sticking out, and we had to remove them because of the lawnmower. Turned out they were boulders. But they came in handy, so nature provides every time you need something. Don't ever forget that. Alright, I digress. Here we go. So, this planter was originally supposed to contain all my filter media, but the bottom cracked when I was trying to put the PVC through the uniseals. So, I ended up just using it as a cover. Now, give me a second. And there is my filter. I don't like the way the 5 gallon bucket looks for the pond, so I decided to use that as a cover, which worked out great in the end. I have a lava rock in there. You see that pipe for the outlet. It comes down to the 90-degree elbow, which runs along the length of the pond. And then I have my holes drilled for an outlet. I did have to drill 15 holes because only 10 holes made the 5 gallon bucket overflow. But I think it looks really cool because they come out at an angle. So that's the outlet. The inlet, you have your pump down there connected to an adapter that just screws onto the pump. And that connects to the 1-inch PVC, which goes through the bucket with another uniseal. On top of that is a T connection with some 45-degree elbows connected to that. And they're facing opposite directions to kind of swirl the water. And that's my pump. If you go to SC Fish Keeping, Zach has a video which I will link below using this exact pump, and it goes into more detail about how it works. Personally, I think it's great too. I have been running it for a couple days now, and it's been doing alright, and I haven't had any issues. I do like that if any big debris gets in there, it automatically shuts off. And it's got a bunch of other cool features, including a remote where you can adjust the strength of the pump. That remote is inside that 5 gallon bucket, which I have waterproofed because it won't reach into my door. Also, this design is a inspired combination from Zach and from Corey at Aquarium Co-op. Corey used the 5 gallon bucket, and then he had the outflow pipe come all the way to the top, but his outflow went through the bottom of the bucket. I wanted mine to come through the side like Zach's design did, and also I used the uniseals like Zach did instead of bulkheads. Both designs were awesome on their own, but whenever I build something, I like to put my own spin on it. So that's what I ended up doing. This pipe was originally going to be inside the pond, and I was going to have the pump on one end, the outlet on the other, or the filter on the other, but my brain clicked and said, why take up space inside the pond that the fish could have when you can just do something like this? I do have elbows here with 1-inch with end caps on them to help hold it in place. Forgive the purple, first time using PVC stuff, and I made a mess. So this 55 gallon barrel is holding some plants that I'm actually trying to transition to submerged plants. We'll see how well that goes. But it is actually my overflow bucket. So this is my little overflow. I made that in another video to show that, hey, yes, this actually works. And then I just connected some scrap PVC and some elbows and brought it into this. Originally, this was holding my duckweed. because I was salting my aquarium and I didn't want to kill off all my plant. That hole was the outlet for the overflow. It is now an inlet. I cut the top off and it was sharp, so I took an old 5/8 inch tube from an aquarium siphon, split it down the middle, siliconed it on the top so there are no sharp edges. So that is my overflow bucket, and the great thing about that is it won't rain enough to flood that, so I can siphon it out before it does it. So yeah, come spring I'm going to be putting plants in here, and there will be a creeping plant on top of the planter to hide the black instead of rocks. But for right now, you know what? I think I might just go to Lowe's and get me some fall flowers and just stick the pot on top of there to kind of hide that section, because that's not exactly the most attractive looking top. But the plan is, since it's winter, I've got rocks, and then come spring I'm going to have more plants in here. I have yet to figure out what I'm going to do to cover that little section. I figured give them another spot of shade. I will be putting netting over it. So yeah, that's my pond build. I will be linking Corey's page from Aquarium Co-op for that filter build, as well as Zach's at SC Fish Keeping. So you can kind of either choose their designs or make your own, but it gives you ideas of what to do. I'll also link that overflow build in there. And I'm going to link Fish Room Fever and Chattanooga Ed. These guys are awesome when it comes to advice on things that are fish related. I watch their live streams all the time. They're really good at responding if you have a question. There's a lot of people on their streams that can answer if they don't know, which is very far and few between. So a big shout out to them, especially James at Fish Room Fever. You have really helped me out with everything, not only my internal aquarium, but my pond. So thank you so much. And y'all have a good one. Go out there, build yourself a pond, and have a good old time. Bye.